You are watching No Filter with Debbie. These are my views and opinions. Welcome to No Filter with Debbie. I'm Debbie Schlussel, and you know what's driving me crazy? Facebook. Facebook and its absurd ban of Donald Trump and its ridiculous Supreme Court. No, it's not really the Supreme Court, of course not. These are people on the Facebook board that Facebook chose that are supposed to be independent. Are they independent? Hell no. They are mostly liberals, and I don't just mean liberal, they are far leftists. Yes, there's one or two, there's maybe three if you count the libertarian Republicans, but they're establishment Republicans. And even if they were conservatives to the far, far, far right, wouldn't make a difference because the board is dominated by far left liberals. And so, of course, as we predicted on yesterday's show, I predicted that Facebook would do this to Donald Trump, that they would ban him. This was predictable. We knew they were going to uphold this decision. It was not going to be fair. They weren't going to be saying, well, this is a means of public communication like the telephone, and everybody should get a chance. Everyone should get a shot. No, 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 no. Only the government of Iran should still get to be on Facebook. They should still get to say death to Israel, death to America, the great Satan. They should get to do those kinds of things. Hamas, Hezbollah, terrorist groups. Hezbollah has murdered more Americans than any other group other than Al Qaeda. They are on Facebook. You know who's not on Facebook? Donald Trump. That never did anything close to anything like what these countries that are on there, the third world republics, and these terrorist groups have done. But they're all on there, and he is not. And this Supreme Court of Facebook said a few things. I read what they wrote. They said they did not like that when Donald Trump was banned in January, that he was not given a time frame. They should have said either you're banned for 6 months or you're banned forever or something like that. They said they should have told him, and it wasn't right that it was indefinite. So what? They told Facebook that Facebook should ban him indefinitely, and they gave Facebook 6 months, so till November, to decide. So in November, Facebook will decide whether or not to affirm what this independent, not really, board, Supreme Court of Facebook, has decided. They should decide either to ban Donald Trump permanently or tell him he's banned for a certain amount more time, or they should reinstate him. They're not going to let him back on Facebook. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Facebook is not letting anybody back on. They just aren't. They're not reversing themselves for conservatives. Now, if you were a liberal, well, of course, they're not going to ban you or put you in Facebook jail in the first place or suspend you or temporarily disable some of your features like responding to emails or posting or responding to posts. They're not going to do those things to you in the first place. But if they made a mistake by some accident of accidents, they are going to reinstate you if you're a liberal, but not if you're Donald Trump. Now, as we have said before, ask yourself this. Would AT&T be able to say, well, not sure you're going to be able to use our cell phone service because I don't agree with what you have to say. You endanger safety. And so we are going to have some body decide this. And until then, you can't use our products or services. Hell no, they don't do that. They can't do that. Look at Apple. Apple would not even unlock an iPhone of Islamic terrorists. Remember the San Bernardino terrorists? They would not even help the FBI unlock the phones to find out what information was on them, about who they were working with, what other terrorist attacks they may have planned, and a lot of other mysteries. We had to pay an Israeli company to unencrypt the phone, to unlock the phone. This is how they do it. They protect terrorists. But these social media platforms protect terrorists also. Conservatives who've never killed anybody. No, you can't talk. You cannot say anything. You're gone, Donald Trump. You endanger safety. Now, White House spokeschick Jen Psaki was asked about this, and apparently, even though she said we're not going to take a position on this, she did take a position. She said that Donald Trump is a public health and safety threat, and banning people's free speech on these platforms is justified when they are public health and safety threats. Really? So Donald Trump's a public safety threat, but Don Lemon isn't, for example, or Ayatollah Khomeini's progeny running the government of Iran. It's absurd. It is absurd. The head of Hamas is on Facebook. All right? The PLO is on Facebook. Every terrorist group you can name in the alphabet soup of terrorist groups is on Facebook. And Donald Trump is apparently worse than an Islamic terrorist. So watch this video of Jen Psaki.
Facebook has decided to keep former President Trump off of its platform for now. Senator Ted Cruz tweeted the following: for every liberal celebrating Trump's social media ban, if the big tech oligarchs can muzzle the former president, what's to stop them from silencing you? What do you make of that comment? Does he have a point?
Well, let me first say that this is an independent board's decision, and we're not going to have any comment on the future of the former president's social media platform. That's a decision that it sounds like the independent board punted back to Facebook to make in the next 6 months, as I know you all have reported. The president's view is that the major platforms have a responsibility related to the health and safety of all Americans to stop amplifying untrustworthy content, disinformation and misinformation, especially related to COVID-19, vaccinations, and elections. And we've seen that over the past several months, broadly speaking. I'm not placing any blame on any individual or group. We've seen it from a number of sources. He also supports better privacy protections and a robust antitrust program. So his view is that there's more that needs to be done to ensure that this type of misinformation, disinformation, damaging, sometimes life-threatening information is not going out to the American public.
You're saying more that needs to be done. Are there any concerns, though, about First Amendment rights? And where does the White House draw the line on that?
Well, look, I think we are, of course, a believer in First Amendment rights. I think what the decisions are that the social media platforms need to make is how they address the disinformation, misinformation, especially related to life-threatening issues like COVID-19 and vaccinations that continue to proliferate on their platforms.
What did she just say? First of all I got from that is she believes that Americans can be public health and safety threats if they say what they think, which that's not a public or health safety threat. That isn't a safety threat to anybody. It's not a health or safety threat. That is absurd. And to say that Donald Trump is a health or safety threat when you see Joe and Jill Biden without masks around the Carters and then pretending that you need to wear masks when you're vaccinated and publicly posing with masks outside, that's not a public health and safety threat, especially when Joe Biden said not enough Americans are getting vaccinated and he's taking away all the carrots, all the benefits of being vaccinated, telling people they need to wear masks outside. Really? Or they need to wear masks inside. Really? He's not the safety threat. Donald Trump is, because Donald Trump is conservative. This is why if conservatives do not invent a viable, I'm not talking about Parler that can be yanked at whim by Amazon, but if they do not provide a viable, lasting platform, if there is not a nonpartisan, it doesn't have to be conservative, viable, lasting platform for social media that does not censor, then we will have lost the battle. We have lost the battle, frankly. The tech giants are on the other side. They are on the side of the people that are torching and burning down America right now. They are not on the side of law and safety and order and public health. They are not. And before we go to the break, I want you to take a look at Josh Hawley's tweet on this because he's absolutely correct. So he said, Facebook's real oversight board, the Democrats. Absolutely. And the Democrats, what he's tweeting out is the Democrats tweeted out Facebook should permanently ban Donald Trump. And they will. They will. In November, they will. We predicted yesterday they would ban him. And I'm predicting again, in November, they will ban him permanently. He's not coming back, nor is anybody else on the right that was banned by Facebook. All right, when we come back, Donald Trump is doing something that I and a lot of conservatives think is not good for America. It's not America first. We'll tell you what it is and why it isn't America first after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha.
The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness.
During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification. And when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark. Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close. Call or click now and get Night Hero binoculars for just $39.99. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling atomic beam flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. We'll even ship them to you free. This TV special offer is not available on Amazon. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-619-1091. That's 1-800-619-1091. Or visit buynighthero.com. That's buynighthero.com. Order now.
Today's households have more digital devices than ever before. More links to family, business, education, and entertainment. Beck Communications spent over 10 years building North Dakota's fastest fiber optic internet service. Beck Lightband Internet, outpacing speeds in large cities nationwide. Lightband Internet handles all your digital needs without throttling your connection to the world. Beck Communications, valuable digital connections in rural North Dakota.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Elmiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Elmiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Elmiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So Donald Trump, as we told you, has been banned from Facebook. It's going to be permanent. This so-called Supreme Court said he just needs to be told definitely. They gave Facebook 6 months. In 6 months, he will be banned. Just watch. Mark my word. Just like we said yesterday, he's going to be banned permanently. And that's basically what they did. They said Facebook didn't do anything wrong by banning him, just that they should have given him a term, like forever or 6 months. It's going to be forever. It is forever. We all know this. You watching and me, we all know he does not have a snowball's chance in hell of getting back on Facebook until and unless it is regulated like a utility by the federal government. Till and unless it is told you have to have a free forum for all ideas. They already have that for the ideas that are extreme anyway. Islamic extremists, there are neo Nazis on there. So if all of those people can be on there, why can't Donald Trump? It's absurd. But I'll tell you something that is another why for me about Donald Trump, but it's not why can't he, it's why is he? Why is Donald Trump endorsing Elise Stefanik? Let me just tell you a little bit about the background story. So, as we all know, Liz Cheney is in the Republican leadership of the House. She is the number 2 person under under McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy, who is the minority leader, the Republican minority leader in the House. And Liz Cheney is right underneath him. She is the top Republican other than him, and she's the top Republican woman. So, of course, they want her out because she's moderate, she's anti Trump, and she probably should go. She voted for a lot of anti Trump things. She supported the impeachment of Trump. She is not of the mainstream of the Republican Party these days. She's not America first. She's for amnesty, or so I thought, but guess what? She's actually not that bad on immigration. And we will show you how she and Elise Stefanik, who Trump has endorsed for this position, stand, and it's not a good contrast. So Elise Stefanik is from upstate New York. She was a rising star in the Republican Party. She came to town, to Washington, D.C., on the Trump wave. She was elected then, and she was a defender of Donald Trump during the impeachment hearings. Great. She has terrific questions. She was really good. On some things, she's great. But on America First issues, she's terrible. She's actually a moderate Republican and not a Trump Republican. She's the establishment. So I want you to take a look at this tweet, first from a guy I know, Mark Krikorian, from the Center for Immigration Studies, which is a really good secure borders organization. They have great data. And he tweeted, I get that people don't like Liz Cheney, but she has a career grade of over 4 years of A on immigration issues from Numbers USA, another great group on immigration. A plus for this Congress. I guess he means the Center for Immigration. Oh, for this particular session of Congress. While Stefanik, over 6 years, earned an anemic C minus and a D minus for this Congress, too. Yeah. By the way, she can't. I'm in error because I just recall she did not come to Congress with Trump. She became a star under Trump. She actually filled a seat in a special election, which she only filled part of a term of a congressman, Chris, whose last name escapes me, who was from upstate New York, and we told you about him on this show. He went on Craigslist. He was married. He went on Craigslist, took a picture of himself, a selfie, and he was seeking dates. He was communicating with other women about dating them and lied about who he was and what he did. He said he was a lobbyist. And he resigned within 45 minutes of that story breaking. Now you've got Democrats, and we talked about this, like Eric Swalwell, who sleep with Chinese spies. Nothing happens to them. Nothing. And you've got Elise Stefanik, who is bad on immigration. She is for open borders. And as somebody who represents her district, which is upstate New York and borders Canada, why would you be for open borders? People are coming in through the northern border as well. So there's that tweet. Now I want you to take a look at another tweet about Elise Stefanik from U.S. tech workers. Take a look at this. So Elise Stefanik versus Liz Cheney on immigration. HR 1044, big tech green card giveaway. That's where they give people, they expand the number of visas, make it easier to get them for these software programmers, which we have no shortage of here in America. Liz Cheney voted against that. Good for her. Elise Stefanik voted for that so that her constituents in Buffalo, New York, and upstate New York will have to compete against these foreigners. HR 1603, Farm Work Modernization Act. Again, that expands the number of visas for farm workers from other countries, makes it easier for them to get them. I know some farmers in farm states like North Dakota want that, but it's abused. Some of the 1993 World Trade Center bombers, the terrorists, we had agricultural worker visas. They were driving cabs in New York planning terrorist attacks on America. Liz Cheney voted on that. No. Stefanik voted yes. So she is not America first, not where it counts, not on the important issues. Now, I know they're desperate to find a star, young, fairly young, relatively speaking, Republican woman. That's what they want the face of that position to be. That way, Liz Cheney won't get to claim sexism. The Democrats won't get to claim that. And it'll be somebody that's more modern for the Republican Party. But you know what? Modern does not always equal good. We need somebody modern who is with the program of securing our borders. And she just isn't. All right. Now, when we come back, we told you yesterday about the stealth juror, Brandon Mitchell, who is an activist. He was on the Derek Chauvin jury. He lied. And Derek Chauvin's attorney has taken steps. We'll tell you what they are and what I think the outcome will be after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even have a mask on.
Call now and get not one, not two, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-270-1219. That's 1-800-270-1219. Or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
Hey everybody, I'm Doug Billings, your host of The Right Side with Doug Billings on Beck News. We bring you high-profile guests, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive guests. Now, you're not going to see these guests in most of the mainstream media outlets. Another thing that I do here is give guests a platform to speak freely. You're not going to see me censor anybody. Please join us, won't you? Weeknights right here on Beck TV and online at beck.news. Cheers.
Indoor football is back in Bismarck. Bucks football season is right around the corner. Grab a friend or family member for a night of action-packed, hard-hitting entertainment. The Bucks open at the Bismarck Event Center May 8th as they take on the Massachusetts Pirates. Catch the sweetest seats in the house right on the sidelines with VIP service at a Bucks turf table. Available now for single-game purchases. Secure your tickets today by calling 701-595-0771. Bucks football, half the field and double the fun.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. Go to MyPillow.com right now to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you can get my premium MyPillows regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, the lowest price ever.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So before the break, we told you about what we mentioned yesterday, which is that a juror, a stealth juror on the trial, on the jury for the trial of Derek Chauvin, lied. He lied to get on the jury. That's why he's called a stealth juror. That's the term for activists who lie to get on a jury because They've already made their decision. That happens a lot. I mentioned to you during the trial when we were covering this and on the day of the decision and after that when we read to you who the jurors were. I told you, people always lie to get on juries. You would think this is like a month-long trial, a little more. People would not want to take that much time not to serve on a jury. They've got families, they have jobs. Well, guess what? There are a lot of people who will. Why? Because they can become famous like Brandon Mitchell and get all over the media. Because they can influence the decision and be an activist like Brandon Mitchell, who had already made up his mind. That's why they do this. People do this all the time. He's probably not the only stealth juror on this jury. He's just the only one who's been found out. A lot of these jurors were not as stupid. So Brandon Mitchell, as we told you yesterday, went to a rally for George Floyd, a Black Lives Matter rally. He wore a Black Lives Matter t-shirt and hat, and I think we have the picture of that. There's a tweet that his uncle sent out, and there it is. You see he's wearing the Black Lives Matter hat, and then he's got Get Your Knee Off Our Necks, BLM, Black Lives Matter. And by the way, that t-shirt is apparently from the rally that he went to, the protest. The protest he went to in Washington, D.C. was also called Get Your Knee Off Our Necks. Somebody that attends a rally, Get Your Knee Off Our Necks, aside from wearing the t-shirt, has an agenda. They think that police all over America have their knee on black people's necks with the intent to kill them. That is not a person that should be on Derek Chauvin's jury. Not even close. So what happened? Well, yesterday afternoon, late yesterday afternoon, after we taped this show, Derek Chauvin's attorney, Eric Nelson, and I think we have a picture of him, he filed a motion to overturn this decision, this jury decision, to throw it out and to get Derek Chauvin a new trial. On what grounds? Well, not just the grounds of what we just told you about Brandon Mitchell, and we'll show you some more pictures from where he was and what he did, but also because of the judicial misconduct and jury and prosecutorial misconduct. So there's juror misconduct on the part of Brandon Mitchell, but then there's also the fact that the judge refused to sequester the jury. Remember, they were going home every day and going back to this building every day, going through thousands of protesters, running the gauntlet, and then they were going home to, many of them, to Brooklyn Center where they lived, where Dante Wright was killed. All of this has been cited in the motion by Eric Nelson, plus the stuff we've now learned about Brandon Mitchell. Now, do I think this will get overturned? No, because as I told you on yesterday's show, as I told you right after the verdict and before, there is no judge on earth that wants to be the one to subject him or herself to these rioters, these violent thugs, these criminals, these terrorists. That's what they are. They're terrorists. And if you do the wrong thing, you testify at Chauvin's trial as Barry Broad did, or you decide something the wrong way, the jury didn't give him murder, like Maxine Waters said, the James Brown lookalike, she said if the jury didn't give him murder, there was going to be stepped up violence. And there was going to be. We all know that. America would have been burnt to a crisp, even though it's already been burnt to a crisp in a lot of places. Ask a lot of these business owners who have nothing left but charred remains of what used to be, their income. So we know that a judge does not want to subject him or herself or their families to this. We know that recently there have been judges whose family members have been killed because the judges themselves were targeted. They don't want to subject themselves to this. And addresses leak. Stuff gets out. So I don't think it's going to be overturned. The standard to overturn something like this is very, very high. It's not a low bar. You have to prove that this absolutely affected the decision, and the decision would have been different but for this. It's hard to prove that. Now, let's get back into what Brandon Mitchell said. So he said that this was absolutely not a George Floyd rally. That's what he told the media. Well, we told you yesterday, George Floyd's family members were speaking at this. And we have a picture of Felonious Floyd. Felonious sounds like felonious. Don't name your kid that. There he is at this event, at the Get Your Knees Off Our Neck protest with Al Sharpton behind him wearing the 846 I Can't Breathe. You're not going to be influenced by that? You went to Washington, D.C. to go to that. So Brandon Mitchell was asked, why did he go to this? And he said that the reason why was he wanted to be around thousands of black people. What? There are shortages of black people in Minneapolis, Stan? There aren't any? I don't know. That's not what the film of all the protesters showed me, especially the protesters who were there for the trial, most of whom were from that area. I'm not talking about the people who came in to Minneapolis, Stan, after George Floyd was killed, who came in from all over the country. But I'm talking about the people who were there every day protesting this. Most of them were from the Minneapolis area, where Brandon Mitchell is from. He's from Minneapolis, Stan. There is no way he went to this rally because I want to be around thousands of black people. That's not the reason. He knew what this was. So he was asked, was this, and by the way, the woman that was in that picture we showed you was George Floyd's sister, Bridget. She also spoke at this event, but it wasn't a George Floyd event. So I guess the knee off our necks was on somebody else's neck and not George Floyd's neck. I mean, that is the name of this protest. What? It's not a George Floyd protest? Please. So he said it was absolutely not a George Floyd protest. He also said that he didn't participate in any anti-police rallies. I don't know. Who are they referring to that has the knee on the neck? It's not the police. It's a ghost in the machine. It's somebody from Fiji that came, who's a tourist who came to visit Minneapolis, Stan? No. All right, so here's what he answered. Did you or someone close to you participate in any of the demonstrations or marches against police brutality that took place in Minneapolis after George Floyd's death? He said no. He's a liar. Other than what, and it was August 28th, it was after George Floyd's death. Other than what you have already described above, have you or anyone close to you participated in protests about police use of force or police brutality? And he said no. But the answer is yes. Who are they talking about with the knee on our necks? It was a police officer. It was about alleged police brutality and alleged systematic racism of the police. This guy is a liar. And he has said in other interviews that he went on the jury because he wanted to spark change. Really? That's not why you go on a jury at all. And so he is an activist. He is a stealth juror. Absolutely, Eric Nelson should win his motion, but he won't for the reasons I told you. And it's unfortunate because we now know for sure, for certain, and I told you before when I read you the descriptions of who the jurors were, that he was not getting an impartial jury. And that, by the way, that is one of the other things that Eric Nelson cited in his motion. He said the judge refused to move the trial from Hennepin County, which he should have done. He should have done a lot of things he did not do. And there is no way that Derek Chauvin got a fair verdict and a fair jury and a fair trial without those things that he did not do. All right, when we come back, the Bill Gates divorce. We've got some great video to show you about this and something that is unbelievable that went on during their marriage. It makes me wonder what's really going on here. We'll tell you what it is. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented My Pillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled My Pillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. For example, you get my 6-piece towel sets, regular $109.99, now only $44.98, or My Pillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
This drug remains approved by the FDA. If you or a loved one regularly took Zantac and were later diagnosed with cancer, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Potential cancers include bladder cancer, colon cancer, kidney cancer, stomach cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. Do not stop taking a prescribed medication without first consulting with your doctor. Discontinuing a prescribed medication without your doctor's advice can result in injury or death.
Call 1-800-230-9210.
Seniors, are you aware that you could pay less for your car insurance?
Seniors can save money on their car insurance.
You might save a little, you might save a lot.
Maybe hundreds of dollars a year.
You might save 5% a year, maybe 10%, 15%, or even more.
That's a lot of money.
So call right now and find out just how much money you might be able to save.
1-800-699-0761. 1-800-699-0761.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
1-800-219-1467.
He once won a spelling bee in an ancient language that he did not speak. He is the only man to ever earn extra credit on an IQ exam. His academic degrees are considered legitimate spending currency in 22 nations, 2 principalities, and at Chick-fil-A restaurants in the United States and Western Canada.
I do not always engage with education programming, but when I do, it is the Dr. Duke Show.
Stay educated with the Dr. Duke Show, weekdays at 4 p.m. on Beck News.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So you've probably read all these stories about the Bill Gates, Melinda Gates divorce. And I don't care about the Gateses. They're far left activists. And unfortunately, because they are so wealthy, because of the sheer magnitude of their wealth, they are like a quasi-governmental entity. They exercise way too much power and influence over how we live our lives. Bill and Melinda Gates should get the heck out of our lives. But they're telling us we have to be vaccinated, we have to do this, we can't go outdoors, we can't reopen America. They have no medical degrees. In fact, Bill Gates is a college dropout. I don't know Melinda Gates' education. Maybe she's got a college degree, maybe she has master's degrees. Who cares? What I do with my life is none of their bleep bleep business, or what you do with yours. But yet, they were all over TV, being our nannies, being our big brother, big sister, throughout all of this, and they still are. That's why I don't like them. And with their divorce, at least their wealth will be split in half. And he won't be the richest man in the world anymore. He isn't right now anyway. But he won't be, which Bezos is or was, but he won't be one of the most. And he won't be up there with the Bezoses and the Elon Musks of the world. He won't be. And that's a good thing. They have so much power. Did you know the Gateses are the largest owners of farmland in America? The largest. They own more farmland than any other entity, corporation, anybody else. That's scary. They have got a monopoly over a lot of things. That's why I don't like them. And that's why I've been following this, because they have no bearing. How they live their lives has no bearing. It has no relationship to the average American like you and me. Not even close. They are completely out of touch. And first of all, I want you to take a look at this picture. I put it up on social media. All right? So we have got this picture of Bill and Melinda Gates. And Look at Melinda Gates. Look at her. Look at her on the right. A lot of people on my social media said she looks a lot like a famous movie star. Not a famous female movie star, but yeah, Kevin Kline. There is a resemblance. It's pretty funny. And let's go back to that picture. I mean, she looks like a man. Bill Gates looks like he's like a lesbian in training. I'm just saying. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. They both have reversed their roles. Although I get the idea she was the man in this relationship all the time. Although, based on what we've now learned, I'm not so sure. So apparently there was this Time magazine article, a profile of Bill Gates back in 1997. So this has been hidden, not really hidden, but it's been in plain sight and nobody noticed for 24 years. That Bill Gates told Time magazine that he has an agreement with his wife that has been in effect since they got married or since before they got married, that he gets to spend one weekend a year with his ex-girlfriend. One weekend every year alone on the beach in her beach cottage. That's really weird. How many of you watching think your husband or wife or significant other would let you spend a full weekend every summer on the beach alone with their ex? It's weird, it's sick, and I'll tell you more about it in a second, but take a look. First of all, we've got a picture of the girlfriend. See, she's the one in the middle there, and apparently in the middle of their marriage. That's an older picture. She's 70. She's 5 years older than Bill Gates, who is 65, and there aren't any current pictures of her. She's apparently a tech entrepreneur as well, and she's kind of wealthy as well, not as much as the Gateses. But there's a quote from the article. Take a look. Gates has an arrangement with his wife that he and Windblad can keep one vacation tradition alive every spring, as they have for more than a decade. All right, so it's not summer. Big deal. Gates spends a long weekend with Windblad at her beach cottage on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, where they ride dune buggies, hang glide, and walk on the beach. Wow, this sounds like an ad on Tinder. And what do you know? I think we have a video. It sounds like one of these people advertising for themselves on Tinder. I think we've got a video of Bill Gates on Tinder. Take a look. Oh my God, I can laugh at that I've watched it how many times now? Can watch that over and over. Yeah, both of those people want us to stay home forever. They want to exercise power over us. They want us to stay masked up. They want us to get the vaccine, but the vaccine doesn't work because we still have to be masked up and we can't go out in public. Please. Yeah, they are a match made in hell. So I have a theory about this whole thing. I have a friend that's a big time Hollywood figure, can't say who he is, but he lives in a big fancy neighborhood with lots of celebrities. Can't say who they are, don't want to identify him. But he told me, you know what? This is like all my neighbors. This is like royalty. They have so much money. They're so spoiled. They're so deviant. They're looking for the next thing to make their life exciting. And they have agreements like this. They're not like average Americans who have traditional values like one man, one woman, you're married. You have a marriage, you don't let your partner in marriage go for a weekend every year for a romantic weekend walking on the beach and staying at the cottage of the ex. This is dysfunctional and crazy. But it makes you wonder, if they have that kind of agreement, why is she even getting divorced? Well, I'll tell you why. They apparently don't have a prenup, so she's going to get half anyway. So why not take half and leave, then have half and you're still together with this doofus that you really have a loveless marriage with? So loveless that you allowed him to go away every year for a weekend with somebody else. That's bizarre. Totally bizarre. All right, when we come back, Ron DeSantis, I hope he's America's next president. He should be. Ron DeSantis has made an announcement. He's doing even more that should be done across America. Governor Burgum and Governor Whitmer and all these governors, take note. And also, we have some news about that carjacking, where a man was killed, and it was just disgusting. We had shown it to you, and we have an update, and it's not good. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? After all, a visit to the dentist can easily cost $2,000 or more. Well, relax. The Carefree Dental Card is now available in your area. Call now and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree Dental Card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. Activate your card and you can start using it immediately. From exams and cleanings to more expensive procedures like crowns, dentures, even braces, they're all included with the Carefree Dental Card. Say you go to the dentist today without any card and your bill is, well, ouch. Wait a minute, let's try that again. You go to the dentist today and show your Carefree Dental Card, you save $525. The Carefree Dental Card is just $15.95 a month, so call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-416-5739 to receive your Carefree Dental Card information kit. 1-800-416-5739. Call now.
At Beck Communications, we've been planning for your future. Over the past decade, we've placed nearly 200,000 miles of dedicated fiber optics in the ground. Enough fiber optic strands to circle the world 8 times. Taking no shortcuts, we connected every home and business in our service area with dedicated fiber optics. It's your personal, unrestricted, unthrottled connection to the world. Best of all, this dedicated fiber means you do not share your connection. We call this intimate dedicated connection Beck Fiber.
I can't say enough good things about these nano hearing aids.
Real people talking about nano hearing aids.
The hearing quality is great.
Until now, hearing aids used to be too expensive for the average person. Until nano. Call now and you'll get your nano hearing aids for only $297. You'll save $100. When you buy one hearing aid, Nano will give you a second hearing aid free. Call right now.
1-800-213-3815.
Hop in the rig and go down the road with me. We'll cover local and national stories that impact you. What happens with national debt? Does anybody even care anymore? Do you think Governor Burgum truly understands the legislative process?
You know, I think he's got a better understanding now than he did 2 years ago.
Why in the world are we having a conversation about being anti-vaccination? Down the Road with Joel Heitkamp weekdays at 5:30 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Attention! Have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Almiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Almiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Almiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-5680.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So I've been telling you time and again all the great things that Governor Ron DeSantis is doing. He's pushing back against the conventional wisdom of the establishment Republicans and the far left, which are the establishment Democrats. He's also pushing back against the tide of the establishment Republican governors. He's doing things to help America take itself back. He's helping us, the citizens, take America back and returning us to normalcy, not just with regard to COVID, but with regard to the riots in America, the anti-police sentiment. And the latest thing he's doing is, instead of defunding the police, he's giving police a bonus. He's giving them a raise. So I want you to take a look at this video. I think we have a tweet too, but I'm not sure. Take a look.
I asked the legislature in this legislative session, we need to do bonuses for law enforcement. Someone to defund the police, we're funding the police and then some.
So he's giving police $1,000 bonus. Good for him. We need to reward the police because they are risking their lives for us every single day, every single hour, every single minute. We showed you yesterday an officer in Delaware who was stomped to death by a criminal that broke into these old senior citizens' homes. He saved them. He gave his life to do that. That happens every single day. The number of police that are murdered each year by these criminals is rising to rates beyond 1974. Last year was the highest since 1974. We're on track to beat that. We need to show the police our appreciation. All right, now, speaking of criminals, we showed you about a month ago, I think, several weeks ago, these two girls. They're almost women, they're teenagers who were, one of them was already wanted for a carjacking in January. They carjacked this poor immigrant from Pakistan, Mohammed Anwar, and they murdered him. They carjacked his car, they murdered him. Take a look at the video for a reminder.
Call the They're thieves. What's going on? Call the cops. They're trying to steal a car. This is my car. They're trying to steal a car? Inside is his car. Yeah, he is their car. No, this is my car. Stop it! Oh my God! Somebody just stole it. She's stealing their car. You're stealing the car? Yeah, we called the cops. Call the cops. Call the cops.
All right, so this man was murdered. You heard the crash. And by the way, we didn't show the rest of the video, but those girls said, "Where's my phone? Where's my phone?" That's all they cared about. They didn't care about this man's life that they stole, that they took from his family who relied on him. This is disgusting. And what was more disgusting, which we told you about at the time, is they are not being tried as adults. They are not being charged as adults. They're being charged as juveniles, which means at the age of 21, we'll never hear of them. We will never know their names. They will have a clean record. And so what happens? These girls now are not even going to do a day in jail. They have a plea deal that has been offered to them. It's on the table, and they're probably going to take it, where they will not do a day in jail. And then again, once they are no longer juveniles, when they turn 21, this is over. And one of them is 15, the other one's 13. They've got 6 years, 8 years, if my math is correct, and then that's it. They will not pay. They're never going to do a single day in jail. Meanwhile, we've got this woman named Emily Rose Grover, who is a teen. She's being tried as an adult. What did she do? She's a Florida teen who cheated on the homecoming election. Yes, she and her mother did hack in to school computers, but they did it to win a homecoming race. She's being tried as an adult for multiple felonies. She could do jail time, but these women in Washington, D.C., where there is no law and order, they are going to get away with this. This is disgusting. Gosh. All right. Now, speaking of criminals who try to carjack you, here's how you deal with them. I could watch this video over and over. Check it out. Look at this. So the guy is pumping gas. Look at this. And a van drives up, and they're getting out these thugs, these criminals, and he doesn't wait. He knows what they're going to do. Sprays them with gasoline, and does somebody got a match? Somebody have a match here? Yeah, they know. They know what's coming next. Goodbye. That's how you do it, and it's worth the gas, believe me. All right, now, we have to show you this video because I've been waiting to show this. I don't have enough time usually. This is how people treat police every single day, every single hour, and they have to put up with it. Check this out.
Yes, you are, ma'am. Good morning.
And the speed limit is 40, and I was going 38, so why are you harassing me?
You are correct. I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
Because
yes, I started to record because you're a murderer.
You can't be on your cell phone while you're driving.
I wasn't on my phone. I was recording you because you scared me.
You can't use your cell phone while you're recording.
You.
May I have your driver's license?
It's at my apartment.
What's your apartment?
It's at my home. I'm just taking my son to his.
Do you have your driver's license?
I mistakenly left it at home.
Do you have a picture of your driver's license?
Yes, I do.
May I have it?
And can you call your supervisor, please?
I already did. He's on his way.
Good, because you're a murderer.
Okay.
And so you're giving me a cell phone ticket? Is that why you're harassing me?
Not harassment. Yeah. I am enforcing the law.
I have a right to record the police when they're harassing me.
By all means, but you can't do it while you're driving.
I wasn't texting or none of that.
Do you have that
you
picture?
You scared me and made me think you were going to murder me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, that's not just a feeling. You're a murderer.
Okay. Can you zoom in on that for me,
Sure.
dear? Thank you.
And I'm perfectly legal, and I'm a teacher. So there.
Congratulations.
Murderer. You're a murderer.
What's your last name? I can't see that there.
Well,
if
here you
stop,
go,
Stop
murderer.
shaking. Zoom in on that for me,
No,
right?
because you're scaring me. You're threatening to kill me and my son. Can you give me
okay.
the
well,
iPad,
I'll tell you what. You keep smiling. You're on camera.
You're trying to threaten to kill me.
I
I'm not
didn't say
smiling.
that.
You're the one who's crazy.
Hold that still. I can't see that. Is this your car?
Yes, it is. And you're trying to say I stole my own car because you're jealous?
Yeah,
Is that what
I don't think so.
about?
You wait for me right here, okay?
You're jealous?
Citation. All you need to do is your signature. He's only citing you for using your cell phone while you're driving. That's it.
There you go, ma'am. Sign inside the red box right there.
For him being a Mexican racist. What is that name? Gasso?
It's on the citation, ma'am.
Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right? You'll never be white, which is what you really want to be.
There you go,
be
dear.
White.
Have a good day.
You want to be white so bad.
Have you ever seen, this woman is black. Have you ever seen a white Karen that's that annoying? They call Karens white? Please. And this guy deserves the Humanitarian of the Year award for sitting calmly, classily, and coolly through that abuse. This is what police officers go through every day, every hour. Remember, things are not always as they seem. See you tomorrow.